what's up with it. It's been a couple days and not much has happened on my end, but stuff has happened with the Netflix bid. We now see Paramount has put in a bid for $100-something billion as well. Not only that, but Trump, President of the United States, came out and said that, he would be directly involved with the deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers. He's also concerned of it being a monopoly. But, the way how things are supposed to go, the government isn't supposed to be directly involved with businesses, right? I mean, at the end of the day, these people do what they want. So him doing that, a lot of people would have mixed feelings about that. And then on top of that, to find out that his son-in-law owns Paramount with oil tycoon as well. So what angle is being played? So now the war for Warner Brothers has started between Netflix and Paramount, and depending on which way it goes, it could mold society, honestly, to go either of which ways either of them decide to. These are like the top 4 most watched streaming service, top 4 most richest companies. So I saw someone comment which was funny. They're like, yes, 2 choices, corruption or corruption. And honestly, I just started laughing because what can you do? You really can't do anything. The only thing we the consumers can do is boycott, just like we did with Jimmy Kimmel when they tried to cut him off. But is that enough at this point? A company or two having this much power or access to gain this much power, like 82 and $100-something billion is a small amount of money, but for them to have this much amount of power, it's extremely concerning. This is actually insane. This is insane. I need a car. But yeah, I see the CEO of Netflix saying that gaming aspect, they're not really consider about the games that they got from DC. I guess that's not the direction they want to go in either. And also, I saw him saying that, the cinemas in theater release, he's saying that's an old way that is about to die out. So I guess for him and the company, it's capitalizing on going to streaming. Now, me personally, I have a problem with that. As someone who loves going to the movies, I have a very big problem with that. But even outside of that, why is it for advancement we talk about limiting human contact, or even as soon as COVID hit, after that I just noticed everything has been going to limiting human contact. Now again, I'm not against advancement, but the way how Netflix is doing it, some of the things that they're planning to do just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And aside from that, the main problem, or the biggest problem, being them having a monopoly over Hollywood, over they're just going to become a very big company, like a very rich company. Because even, let's say all they had left to their name was this $82 billion. As soon as they acquire Warner Brothers, like they're making 3-4 times that back right away. So it's a very big risk for them. But what I'm seeing, what the CEO is, or what the company has planned, I'm not entirely sure about it. So we just have to see where it goes. And then for Trump and him being directly involved, you already know my stance on that. His son-in-law as well, born in Paramount, just makes it a bit more fishy, right? day 2 of Media Madness Part 2. And as you can hear, the sirens are going off. That's to show how bad things are right now, I guess. You know, the metaphor. But another thing I noticed was all the Rams, they have been sold to bigger companies, I guess, to help with the AI tech or whatever. But now you see even the price of that skyrocket. I saw a video where a guy, he bought one his for $90. He went to recheck for the same exact one and the price went up to $300. Stuff like that is insane. We're in the middle of a big societal change, and you know, I'm curious to see where we go with it. Is it a change for the better or for the worse? I don't know. From earlier what I was speaking about yesterday with the Netflix standpoint, I'm not entirely sure, because some of the things that the CEO and the company has come out and said they want to do, most people were looking at it sideways. We're like, this is not what we want. They want to push to streaming, push to more view oriented more than sales, which has been happening for the past decade or so. When we talk about music first, right? Because music, that's how it was sales first. You went to buy a physical copy. Now it's just mostly about views. The currency of today is views. You know, you start a channel or whatever, the amount of views you have gives you access to more doors, opens more doors for you. More subscribers means doors opening to more partnerships, sponsorships. You know, what everyone cares about now is reach. So, just like what I commented yesterday, the guy saying 2 choices, corruption or corruption, it really is that. But all we have to do is just sit and watch. It's a really big pivotal moment for society, and you know, there's really nothing we can do about it. You know, when I said we could boycott whatever, at this point, would we reach these top execs, these 1%ers? No. So what do we do next? Who knows? The rich are just going to get richer and the poor are just going to suffer, as always. Throughout history, it's always aristocrats versus peasants. So, you know, I don't really think much has changed in that aspect. Silent. So, like, bright. Everything is the sky, really, and clouds. It's bright and nice out today. It's kind of cold, not too cold, but see, when it's clear like this and the sun is shining that bright, it's a good day. The only thing better than this would be if there was no wind. But back to what we were talking about earlier, it's just crazy how, you know, these big mega companies are taking all these resources just for themselves to become, you know, much better off financially, and then we have regular people struggling to even, you know, make ends meet. That is how this world is worked. I talk about the aristocrats versus peasants. That's what I mean. It's the have or the have-nots, the top percentage versus everyone else. So I'm not surprised about all the things happening right now. I'm not surprised, you know, when these top companies are trying to wash hands or trying to even make things better for themselves financially. Look at the clouds in the sky in the distance. It looks like a sea of clouds. You can even surf or snowboard on that. Also, I just want to say, I see that the US plans to implement this thing where they do like a social media check, and I want to believe other countries may adopt this, or not one for one, but their version of it, because realistically we've gotten to the point where even social media needs, or not just social media, but like the internet, it needs to be regulated, it needs to be, you know, due process, all of that. Now, for this specific thing that they're doing, that does feel like invasion of privacy to me. But then how do you go about the safety of it, of who is, yes, coming into a country or not? aspect of it, right? So these are all the things that I'm looking at, thinking about. Where do we go from here moving forward? And another thing that I forgot to mention, I did say that we see that Trump's son-in-law and an oil tycoon owns Paramount, and they plan to buy Warner Brothers. But another thing I saw that was included in that was that they would have direct involvement or control over CNN, which is a big news media company that if the Trump family or anyone has any direct involvement over that, they can push whatever they want for news, which is also a major problem. Being the biggest or one of the biggest news corporations in the world, that's a major problem to me. So again, it just comes back to that one comment. Two choices, corruption or corruption. Pick your poison, I guess, at this point. But all in all, we just have to wait and see what happens next, where we go from here, where the world progresses. After this, there's nothing much else I have to say about it currently. If something does pop up, I'll definitely talk about it in another vlog or something, but I think I've hit everything I can right now. And media madness. I mean, everything is, a lot of things are wrong with the media right now, social media as well, even that and how it affects people psychologically, all type of stuff. But I'll talk about that in another time, after time. But